If you want to, if there's a page you want to share it on, pop us up on. Just go to the Suki and Scott Show Facebook page while people are logging on.
Yeah,
hit share.
I'm not seeing it yet.
Did it come up yet?
I do not see it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, we should be on. There you go.
Share.
I see it. And Joe, you should see it by now if you want to share it up and then come back to us. None of this makes the TV version until we hit that start button on the show.
Yes, sir.
Philly Kid, glad you can make it. So I'll tell everybody why you're in for Suki in just a second. We have got an amazing show as everybody starts to load up. All of our loyal guests and followers, everybody popping in. Man, we have Philly Kid. We have had some sort of guest list on this program over the last 2.5 years. I got to tell you.
Wow. Yeah. Unbelievable. Well, actually, I say unbelievable, but it's actually very believable.
It's insane.
It just shows the popularity and the reach of the Suki and Scott show around the world, and all of the fans that are being attracted to the show, and they just want to see those awesome guests.
And Philly Kid, we do a lot of singing on this show, right? We have a lot of performers, a lot of musicians. You do a lot of singing. I actually have the video of when we first met you, of you as a police officer in Oklahoma singing in your car. A little easy like Sunday morning, which is the reason why you became a viral sensation. Because you don't see too many police officers singing in their car, and you have since retired, my friend, from the force.
I have since retired.
Anyway, so I might give you a little. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. That's only because our guest coming up tonight, Joe Morton. He may or may not have starred in Aquarius on the stage. But, of course, Joe Morton's coming up, Philly Kid. Let's get the show started. Everybody's lighting it up. I'll hit the intro, and then we're going to we got an amazing show. I got a lot to talk to you about. Here we go. You ready to roll?
Let's do it.
All right, my friend. Let's hit that open in 3, 2, and...
The Suki and Scott Show.
This is one of the funnest shows I've ever done.
Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling.
It's musical. It's magical.
Suki and Scott, the 7 of Hearts. Woo! Exactly. This is a sexy show. Someone's getting some action.
Now, these larger-than-life personalities are on an exciting new journey as they bring you the Suki and Scott Show.
You guys nailed it. You're great. You ask great questions. You listen.
I answered you because I have respect for you guys, and it was a question respectfully put.
The Suki and Scott Show is your one-stop destination for humor.
You like De Niro and Cape Fear. Counselor!
Entertainment.
Jesse's girl.
Wonderful.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
And optimism.
You guys have such amazing energy.
Ultraviolet light, it gets in there and it just fights the kung flu. Is that right? Okay.
Let's laugh together.
I love him.
The Suki and Scott Show.
That's the best intro for a show I maybe have ever seen.
Really?
Your intro is fantastic.
When the moon is in the 7th house, Philly Kid and Jupiter
aligns with Mars.
So, Philly, sing it for me, would you? Come on.
Aligns with Mars and peace shall guide the planet, and love will steer the stars.
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Well, that worked out pretty good, Philly Kid.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, we're singing a little Aquarius because we got a huge show tonight. The legendary Joe Morton is in the house, Philly Kid.
Yes.
Joe has got this new show. It's on with our friends over at Crackle because, we're on Crackle as well. It's called Inside the Black Box. And he hosts it with Tracy Moore, who's great. They've already finished season 1. Season 2 is on. Joe Morton, you're talking Scandal. You're talking Terminator. You're talking about Speed and everything else in between, Philly Kid.
Yes, hundreds.
And listen, you think about it. Just in the last, we've done over 340 shows. In the last 2 weeks. Think about who's been on this show. You got Joe Morton tonight. Tomorrow, we have the Senior Vice President of Late Night Programming for CBS, Nick Bernstein, Philly Kid. Because I think, James Corden's leaving, and he's going to need to replace that show, and we might be the one. Anyway, he doesn't know it yet, but we're going to try to convince him. Also, Keith David was on last week, right? Clint Howard last week. Sean Kanan from Karate Kid last week. Cobra Kai. George Lopez, and the list goes on and on. But listen, Joe Morton is one of my favorites, man. And his Rowan Pope and Scandal is absolutely just a fantastic character. He won an Emmy Award, a Primetime Emmy. So Joe's coming up in just a second. So we're going to talk about all that good stuff with him. The reason why Philly Kid's sitting in the co-pilot seat, Suki was scheduled to be here tonight. She had a shoot today. It ran a little late. I told her, listen, you're not going to make it back in time. Joe Morton, very important guy. I'm not changing the time on him again. We keep it at 7 o'clock. So Philly Kid is in the house. And Phil, listen, man, we know you now for 2.5 years. Back when we started the show and it was just a little hobby of ours.
Yeah.
One of our viewers, we have the most loyal women around the country watching this program. One of our loyal viewers, and again, we started this thing. We started playing around on Zoom, and here we are 2.5 later, Philly Kid. There's our distribution. Of course, the good folks in Crackle in there as well. But we have really taken this thing all over the world. But somebody said to me, Jeannie Clay, I believe, is one of our most loyal viewers. Mm-hmm. And she emailed me and she said, hey, there's this guy. He's a police officer, SWAT, Oklahoma City. Was in the Air Force, the whole deal, and he has become a viral sensation, which you have. You got close to 1 million followers on all your social platforms. He's singing the Commodores in his squad car. And I found the video. I just want to play 30 seconds of it to remind people exactly why we found you. Take a look at it.
That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning, yeah. That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning.
I wanna be high. So Philly Kid, the women around the country fell in love with you. They're throwing their proverbial hotel keys at you like they used to do with Tom Jones, and everybody wants, everybody was so upset when they found out you were married to your beautiful wife of many years,
many years,
and people that have to be aware of the Phil scammers out there, because a lot of our audience thinks that they're talking to you online, and it's not you.
Yeah. I'll get messages sometimes. And by the way, that video, it had over 12 million views, and
12 million views. That's
12
unreal.
million views. And at the time, I thought, wow, the cash is just going to start rolling in, and I can retire.
That's it. It's over, right?
I'm still waiting for that cash to roll in, but it's a lot of fun, and be careful of the scammers out there, because a lot of people like to pose as me, and
that's wild.
It's crazy.
Anyway, Philly Kid, Joe Morton is here. Like I said, he's got this great show on Crackle called Inside the Black Box with Tracy Moore. We're going to bring Joe in. I'm going to show you a little bit from season 1. I got the trailer for season 2. They got great guests coming up, including our guy, Keith David, is one of those guests. So take a look. Joe Morton, a little bit of Inside the Black Box. This is mostly, I think, from season 1. Take a look at this.
I am Joe Morton.
Hey, I'm Tracy Moore.
Welcome inside the Black Box. Class is in session.
I'm native. Forget the acting studio. I'm here with you guys.
Hey. There's the black role. You have 50% blacking and you black.
Hey. Television and movies are the mediums of stereotypes.
They always try to pin me as a shady character.
Some people have never had a black person direct them. So I go into every job going, I absolutely cannot fail.
So you guys ready to have some fun? Let's do some improv. See?
What about that time I caught you in the closet with cousin Maurice?
I remember your smell. I remember everything about you.
Thank you for always listening to my same stories.
You made her cry.
Don't look at my breakthrough, look what I've been through.
You gotta take that word can't out your vocabulary. Ain't nothing you can't do.
Just because we all have the same color don't mean we have the same experience.
White directors would say to me, Tracy, can you tell them to be a little more ghetto?
Creativity will find its way. It doesn't matter what the ethnicity is.
In order to know where you're going as an actor, you need to know where you've been as a people. Welcome inside the Black Box.
Inside the Black Box. Wait, Joe. There he is. Joe Morton, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Hello.
Joe, how you doing, my friend? Thanks so much for
really
coming
well.
on.
How about you?
Well, great, man. I've been singing that Inside the Black Box song all day long.
There you go. See, it's infectious.
Inside the Black Box.
I tell you, that song came to be because the students who are in the classroom on camera were so enthusiastic about the show, they actually put that together and brought it to us.
Oh, really?
That's right. And then I took them into the studio and recorded it.
Nice. So that didn't happen that happened after the first episode for a couple episodes?
It happened during the first season.
Right.
It was the last show of the first season where they just broke out and started to sing it. And I got so excited about it. I said, well, we have to take it to the studio and record it. So it's now part of the show.
That is great, man. That is really cool.
Hey, let me jump in here real quick, Scotty. Mr. Morton, I just wanted to say that I'm a huge fan. I've been watching you forever. My wife and I love you crazy. I mean,
thank you.
I know that you are a supporter of veterans, and I know your dad, who has the same name, was also a veteran. He served in Korea. Would you? And I'm a military history buff. Would you do me the honors of just telling me a little bit about your dad and his military service?
My father was, as you say, he was a veteran of the Korean War. He ended up being he finally made it to captain, and his job basically was to integrate the armed forces overseas. That meant me and my family, obviously including my father, showed up to every army post that he was sent to without any racial identification. So when he showed up, the proverbial stuff hit the fan. But that was his job. His job was to walk in and be an officer who would obviously give commands to subordinates and non-commissioned officers, also deal with white officers who were above him. It was anyone who has seen kind of Soldier Story kind of knows what this is, but that was the life that he lived.
Nice.
Amazing. I saw a picture of you and your dad online. I think that you had on your Instagram of him holding you from when you were about 9-10 years old.
When I was a kid, yeah.
Joe, let's talk about Black Box for a minute. Well, of course, inside the Black Box, and we'll get to a lot of some of our favorite movies as well. Season 2 on Crackle. But what was it? How'd you end up together with Tracy Moore? Was this something that you guys came up with, or was there a producer that came up with the idea and said, these are the two people we need to host the show?
No, this is Tracy Moore's idea. It's an idea that she'd been sort of holding on to almost 18 years ago.
Wow.
6 years ago, she decided she wanted to do a podcast, and she went to one of our co-producers, Dr. Dave Colin, and said she wanted to do a podcast, and she gave him sort of the breakdown of what the show was about. And he said, no. This should be a television show. So they did the sizzle reel. They asked me to come on to be a guest on the show. And I said,
okay,
sure. Tracy and my oldest daughter are good friends. So my daughter got a hold and said, would you, come on the show? I said, sure, to help Tracy, that'd be great. So I went on the show. It was very exciting because the idea of the show, for those of you who have not seen it, is one, we have guests who come onto the show. The idea of the show is akin to inside the actor's studio.
Absolutely.
The difference is that it's from a Black point of view. So the guests who come on the show do not come on to talk about their new movie or their new television show. They come on to talk about their experience as actors or producers or casting directors of color within this industry. The other half of the show is, as you see in the trailer, is we do theater games, we do improvs, we do all kinds of things so that there's an interaction between the guests and our on-camera students. This gives the students a showcase, gives them an opportunity to be seen as artists, which ordinarily they would not have.
And where, Joe, where do the students come from? Like, how do they get that honor of being part of that studio audience?
Tracy has a class called the Spirited Actor. And so she sort of recruits from her class.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. Philly kid, I got to get you in that class. Phil's acting all over the place, Joe.
Yeah,
Sure,
right.
Come on to New York and go to Tracy's class.
I know you've. I've been watching some of the interviews, and I know that Felicia Rashad, Raven Simone, and Omar Dorsey, Darnell Martin, a lot of big names have gotten involved with this show.
Well, it's interesting because we've had Felicia. Then this season we had Debbie and her and Felicia's daughter Condola. So we've had the entire kind of family on the show.
I love it. I love it. Debbie Allen in there, and you guys, you go back with Debbie Allen a little ways, right? Like all the way back to what is it? What was it? Raisin?
It was Raisin, which was a musical version of Raisin in the Sun, and Debbie played. There she is. Debbie played my sister Benitha.
I love it. I love it.
Wow.
Do you know,
Nice.
Joe, you've done so many prolific, movies, TV shows. I mean, just Scandal not that long ago. You won the Primetime Emmy. I was going through some stuff today, and I wish I could play it, but we can't because of copyright, obviously. I watched a scene where you were talking to Tony, and you're in the cuffs, and you're giving him that you're just a boy.
You're just a boy.
Oh man, that was so like I wanted you to keep going because it was so great. Do you remember any of that dialogue just off the top?
I don't remember
head?
any of the dialogue per se. I mean, what I do remember is that what made it exciting, obviously, is Tony's playing a white Southern president of the United States,
right? Who's with your daughter,
handcuffs and down to a T-shirt, locked onto a tree. And I'm actually telling him the name of the episode was "A Door Marked Exit." And basically, what I'm saying to him is the only reason you're with my daughter is you see her as a door marked exit.
Yeah.
And the reason that you think that way is because you're just a boy.
You're just a oh my god! It was just fantastic how he started out trying to get your goat and make you crazy, right? Talking about your daughter and and the things he's doing with her, and you just went off on. And I was like, damn, that was really good.
Shonda Rhimes at her best.
Oh my god! And when you get a piece of dialogue like that, a couple minutes long, how long does it take you to get that thing down pat? How many takes is it before you get it to where you're like, you know what, that was the way I wanted it?
Usually I'll spend an awful lot of time at home making choices about what I want to do in that kind of monologue. So by the time I get to the set, because when you're doing a television show runs like a locomotive, right?
Sure.
So everything needs to go quickly. You need to get things done within a certain time frame. Otherwise, the whole day is kind of ruined. So I showed up on the set ready to go. So when we did our rehearsal, I was already in the mode. And I think maybe, the number of takes is kind of irrelevant because you're doing it from different angles, right?
Sure.
So maybe there are 6 takes on one side, another 6 takes on the other. I don't think I did more than 6 from any particular side.
So Phil, you got to if you want to see some dialogue at its best.
No.
Go take a look at that.
No, you say that, but I've been doing that. As a wannabe. No, seriously, as a wannabe actor, I look for motivation and training where I can get it. I take acting classes and whatnot, but also one of my training methods is I will pull up TV programs, and one of my favorite ones to pull up and look at the scenes and repeat the dialogue and do the scenes is one of my favorite shows, and a lot of people's in here is Scandal. Now, some of that dialogue, I tell you what, for me to tell you that you motivate people and you're an inspiration to a lot of people, that's no exaggeration to a lot of people, including me. I watch this dialogue and I get goosebumps, and I'll step back and look at these scenes, and then I will try to do them. And I tell you what, sir, the training to me is just invaluable. And I think to myself, if I can say these lines just half as smooth as Joe, I am dead serious, half as smooth as Joe Morton, maybe I'll get some acting work in the future because of that. But I want to thank you for that inspiration. But yeah, you mentioned that, Scott, but that's already being done. I promise you.
Man, it was great because I had never seen all the Scandals, and I had never seen that one. I got to go back and check out but I was like, damn, that was pretty good. I didn't want it to end. And we're talking with Joe Morton, of course, Inside the Black Box, season 2 already. You can watch it, of course, absolutely free on Crackle. Our show's up on that platform as well, and Crackle is just top of the line, Philly Kid.
Hey, gotta ask you too, sir. You, like I say, I watch Scandal a lot, and I do some acting training with that, and I watch many back and forth between you and Kerry Washington. And I got to ask you, because she's one of my favorite actresses, what is it like to work with her?
Oh, Kerry's great. I mean, the interesting thing with Kerry and I was that when I was brought onto the show, the fact that I was her father was a secret.
Yeah, that's right.
She didn't even know that I was going to be playing her father. So she would walk up to me every once in a while and say, I'm so excited that you're on the show. She said, you're the only guest star that I've ever called my parents and say, oh, Joe Morton's going to be the show. But up to that point, we didn't have any scenes together. And she said, I just hope we have some scenes together. And I said, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Oh, and you had some scenes together. Oh, my God.
We did. We had some great scenes together. No, we had a great time. It was a real kind of, her parents used to come to visit the set. And we would always say to them how much fun we have working together. And they were kind of curious because we always fought as characters when we were on screen together, but it was fun.
Yeah. And Joe, listen, there's so many prolific, projects and roles that you have played, but none better, in my opinion, my friend, than this guy right here, the brother from another planet. One of my favorites. He's not just another out-of-towner. He's the brother from another planet. That was great. And I saw in an interview where that was one of the favorite roles you've ever had, right?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. John Sayles, yes.
Yeah, and it was even a question right there on a Jeopardy game. It was. Right, on an episode of The Brother from Another Planet. I love it, man. And just touching on Scandal, and then we'll move on. Primetime Emmy for you.
Yes.
From that role as a guest spot, that had to be pretty special for you.
It was enough of an honor to sort of be nominated for an Emmy. I had just been on the show for a little while. This was season 3. I started at the end of season 2. So it was a wonderful surprise. I was elated. My partner and I ended up taking pictures with me and the Emmy the following day with the Emmy in bed next to me. So it was very exciting.
I love it. Go ahead, Philly.
No, I was just going to say that, speaking of shows, my wife and I would rarely miss an episode of God Friended Me. And oh my gosh, the part you play just so smooth and just so good and inspirational. It's just another show that many of us really enjoyed. And
it's too bad about that show because it was one of those shows that families actually would come together to watch the show. It was on Sunday nights. It was no violence. Right. It was all about, as for those of you who hadn't seen it, it's all about a young man played by Brandon, who was sort of being instructed on his computer by someone who said they were God to go and help people. And he was an atheist. So and I played his father who was a pastor. So it made for wonderful conflicts, but it also made for really good storytelling and stories that would bring families together, which I thought was important.
I love it. The legendary Joe Morton. Joe, listen, so we're talking about Inside the Black Box on Crackle. Season 1 has already come and gone. I mean, people could still see it. Some great guests on that show. Season 2 is already up, and let's take a little look at season 2. Take a look.
I'm Tracy Moore.
And I'm Joe Morton, and welcome to Inside the Black Box.
An honest discussion with the icons of today about our role in the arts.
I love the energy in here.
My goal as an artist is to tell the stories that matter.
Everybody gives you a brick. You choose which ones to build your house with.
And there's no shame in asking for what you truly desire.
I ain't telling y'all nothing.
We set the tone. We are the culture. We are what people want to cross over to.
The more specific you are, the more universal your story becomes.
You flow with it and you find your path,
It's the work that you do and the people that you do it with.
Absolutely. Amen. Wow.
Class is dismissed.
Inside the Black Box.
It's
looks like a great show.
You watch that, and just watching some of the people that were on there, some of the things they were saying, and you get these goosebumps, and your hair rises up in back of your neck a little bit, and it's wow, what a concept, and to get all those people together and just to inspire people it's gonna be really good.
Yeah, I mean, you'll hear some great personal stories. Jeffrey Wright talks about because he did Angels in America, and he talked about sort of leading up to that part in that play, the number of teachers that he had worked with that he really, really admired, who he lost to HIV. So it really sort of helped in that role. You'll hear some wonderful eloquence from Wendell Pierce, who is now on Broadway as the first Black actor to play Willie Loman on Broadway.
Wow.
So the whole show is enormously inspiring, because you'll see young students who are in the audience who'll come on to do an improv or a theater game, and they are completely in it. It's not like they're working TV. They're actually completely in whatever scene they're doing. And so far, we've had a number of those actors who have gotten agents, who are now on Broadway. So the show is actually doing what it's meant to be doing.
I love it. And Joe, listen, you're normally, as the guy in front of the camera, you're usually the guest on these particular interview shows. What's it like for you being the host? A little different on that side? Is there a different way you prep? Do you prep, or do you just go in and let the conversation flow?
Yes, I try to do as much research on every guest, even if I know them well. There may be things that I didn't know about them that I could discover, that I could bring in. When Felicia Rashad came onto the show, I found out that her mother had been nominated for a Pulitzer Prize for poetry. So what I did is I put together a number of questions that had to do with motherhood, because she played a mother on television. She played a mother in a particular play that she did, and then I talked about her mother. So those kinds of things where sort of it all comes together. But it's a very different thing. At first I thought, oh my God, you have to learn an awful lot in a very short span of time. Yeah. Sometimes I don't know until maybe a couple of days before what guest is coming onto the show.
Right. So I know, in that type of a setting, you have all these wonderful people coming in, and they're telling these inspirational stories, and people are going to learn a lot from that. If I like to ask people this question, if Joe Morton was just starting out, and Joe Morton from now could give that young Joe Morton some advice, what would you tell that young man?
Change the haircut, number one. I don't know. I think. What advice would I give? I was very, I have to say, very lucky. I came out of school due to some very particular kinds of racial things that had happened to me while I was in college. But I had a teacher who put me in touch with an agent. The agent got right on the phone, got me an audition. I got into a musical play almost immediately after coming out of school. The thing that every actor has to hold on to is patience and perseverance. And I think that's the thing to hold on to, is to understand that if you don't get a particular role, it's not because maybe you did a bad job in the audition. Maybe the role is just not for you. It was for someone else. And I think that's the kind of thing that maybe I would give myself advice to remember, is that the moments that I was disappointed, don't be disappointed. It just didn't happen this time. It's going to happen the next time, or maybe the next time after that.
Absolutely. And Joe, listen, I just want to touch on a couple of quick pops, before we go. Number one, when I was a little kid, my dad used to watch Sanford and Son religiously. I mean, I heard that in my house all the time. And I know you starred on the spinoff Grady,
right?
Who was the neighbor. And then I saw you telling a story about how you had seen another program come on, and they were using the same exact scripts from those shows, and everybody was like, "What the hell's going on here?"
It was Whitman Mayo was played Grady's best friend, played Sanford's best friend on the show.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember, but there was a point in which Red Fox decided he wasn't going to do the show because there were no windows in his dressing room. So Whitman stepped in. He worked the show until Red decided to come back. And then when Red came back, Whitman's manager and said, "Listen, Whitman just helped you guys out. You should probably, give him his own show." They said no. They, persisted, and finally the network said fine. So they gave us 2 producers. They gave us a time slot. It was a Thursday night. It was a really terrible time slot, and it was a comedy. It was a family comedy. Carol Cole, who was Nat King Cole's niece, played my wife. S.N. Atkins, who is one of the people you see on Inside the Black Box, played my daughter. And originally I was supposed to play I think a history professor in college. But nobody believed at that time, this is 1970 something, no one believed that a black man could be a history professor in college. So they demoted me to a phys ed teacher in high school. So we started shooting the show. Everything seemed to be fine. And one day, I guess I was just cruising the TV, surfing the TV, and I came on one of the other kind of all-white family comedy shows. And what was playing was a script we had done the week before. And then I watched another show and realized all these 2 guys were doing was regurgitating scripts that they had used on this other show. They weren't writing anything new. They were just rewriting it, not rewriting it, they're just renaming it basically for us. We didn't do what we wanted was, obviously any spinoff wanted to be right behind Sanford and Son. That's how you get a spinoff to get people to watch it. They refused to give us that spot, and so of course we died and went off the air.
Unbelievable! Wow! Unbelievable! I just gotta remember Grady so vividly. I'll pop up a couple quick picks before we go. Tell me a little bit about this guy,
Arnold.
And one of the listen, you were the guy that you were creating Skynet, right? You created this whole thing. We found out, correct?
Yes. It was, to work with those 2 was really, with Linda Hamilton and Arnold, was very exciting. And what I did, because I had never done, at this point in my career, I'd never had done anything quite this large before. And I wanted to keep them both as strangers. So I spent a lot of time in my trailer, and the only time I actually interacted with either Linda or Arnold was when I came onto the set, so that they would remain kind of odd, strange people. And we had a great time. It was a wonderful shoot. James was terrific. It was really a lot of fun. I was really excited.
What a great franchise. Still love the themes, right? And Philly Kid, you were a real SWAT guy, but you can't forget Mac and Speed.
Nope.
And Speed.
Yeah.
Right?
So the interesting thing is that the guys who trained me for Speed to be a SWAT lieutenant were the same guys who shot me in Terminator 2.
I guess Hollywood is, kind of a small world, huh?
Well, it's the same. It was the same stunt group.
Right.
So, and that was the other thing that James let me do, because when we were doing Terminator 2, we tried a number of different ways of how we thought he would die, and none of it was working. And I had been in a car accident a few years previous, and my lung had collapsed. And so I turned to James and I said, "So they've just shot me in the chest. I'm assuming my lungs would have collapsed because of that." And I showed him how I was breathing when my lung collapsed in the car accident. And he said, "That's it." And we shot it.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Great. Nice. Those are just, Terminator, Speed, Mice and Men. These are movies, when these movies come on and you see them on whatever, cable, those are movies you always sit and you go back, you just watch it and pick it up from wherever.
Keanu was great to work with as well. I think I had a birthday at some point during the shoot, and he found out about it, and somebody had sent him a bottle of Cristal for a completely other thing, and he came into my dressing room and we sat and drank champagne to celebrate my birthday. He was terrific. He really was terrific.
Everybody says he was is one of the nicest guys.
He is a nice guy, yeah.
And one last thing, a lot of folks may not remember that you were a little Miami Vice action too.
You know what? It was
Look
so
at
funny.
you.
When I got the call to Miami Vice, I got so excited because I thought I'll be wearing some cool clothes.
The pastels,
the fun, blah, blah, blah. And they said, no, you're a negotiator, and we're going to put you in a brown uniform. I thought, well, that's a drag.
So funny. Yeah, you're either brown at a brown cop's uniform or a UPS guy. So anyway, listen. So the show is called Inside the Black Box. It's free on Crackle. It's the legendary Joe Morton. with Tracy Moore. And it's just, I mean, you see the guests they have, and it's such a fantastic show. Discussions about the role race plays in the entertainment world. And you guys, again, you go through some scenes, you have students, you guys act out some things. Joe, just fantastic. Are you looking to do this now that season 2's in the can? You going for season 3? You guys just going to keep
we're
it going?
looking forward to it. Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I wish you the best. Go ahead, Philly.
I was going to say, I'm sure people tell you this all the time, but I want to thank you for what you're doing in those regards, and for being the inspiration that you are, because you do inspire many. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Joe, thank you, my friend. Enjoy the holidays. Happy New Year, and hopefully, listen, we'll get Tracy on when season 3 comes out.
Absolutely.
Did you have a good time, bud? You had a good time?
Excuse me?
Did you have a good time?
On the show, yes, you guys are great. I loved listening to you sing Aquarius. I'll tell you a story I've never really told anybody.
Go ahead.
When I was in California, I'd done the show in New York. I went to California, kind of bopped around trying to get on this, that, and the other television show. So went to the Aquarius Theater where Hair was playing at the time, got back into the show, and managed over a certain number of months to play the lead, Claude, in the show. This is how terrible I was as the lead. I was so young and so stupid. So we're singing Aquarius at the top of the show, and everybody sings their sign at some point, and Claude is supposed to sing Aquarius. I blanked and couldn't remember that I was supposed to say Aquarius, and said Libra, which was my sign, like an idiot. So that was my first experience, not in Hair, but in Hair in LA.
Do you remember a lot, like we were singing, do you remember a lot of the lyrics to the song?
Some lyrics more than others. You have to remember, we were in a very different state of mind when we were doing that show.
We'll steal this. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Man, oh man. You know that and Jesus Christ Superstar, too, you can never forget, right? From Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah.
Never forget
I
those
directed
songs.
that on the road. Yeah. We were the infamous pirate company that was out ahead of everybody else.
Unreal. Joe, thank you so much, man. Just an honor to talk to you. And just, you are one of those soundtrack actors of our childhoods, and you just keep going, man. The acting is it's off the charts. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You guys are a lot of fun.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it,
Joe.
pal.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Take care, bud. Philly Kid, Inside the Black Box. And you know what? I want to play you a clip from the show real quick. Let me get us back to that, and bada bing, boom, 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 boom. Let's get us back to that. Boy, what a career, huh, Philly Kid?
Wow.
Anyway,
Wow.
before you and I get to some of our hijinks, let me just show you one clip from Inside the Black Box, and you'll see really just kind of the conversations that take place. Watch.
18 years later, when you became this success, how did that affect you?
Oh man, Mr. Morton,
Joe.
Mentor, Hey, one thing I've learned is no shame in asking for what you truly desire.
That's right.
It's no shame. And if homeboy be like, you know what, I don't have the time, but it's cool. At least for me, I ask. And that's developing and growing for yourself too. You gotta love and embrace rejection in this business. If you can't love and embrace rejection, you're in the wrong business. You know what I mean? And then you develop the skin to be comfortable in asking for what you desire. And it's not insulting or disrespectful to ask for what you desire. Y'all take that seriously. Be mindful of that. That's real important. So I don't know if it changed me. I try to stay me. I'm one of them brothers, man. I don't get. I'm in it, but I'm not of it. I was cool. I was cool before Hollywood.
I was cool before Hollywood. It's great.
He is a cool guy. He is a cool guy.
Great show. Listen, Inside the Black Box, season 1 and season 2 just came out. Season 2, Joe Morton, Tracy Moore. It's on Crackle. We're also on Crackle. You watch everything, and believe they have all the TV shows, all the movies, and just one of the best platforms, digital platforms out there, Philly Kid. And the best part is, it's all free. It's all free, ad-supported streaming television. And you just, you go on to Crackle and you just pop around and search around, and there's so many great things. Philly Kid, before we continue, So, you're a big health guy, right?
Yes.
I did this commercial for this company called VitaPods. I'm the spokesperson. So it's a 60 and 30-second commercial. It's basically this drink, right? Instead of getting vitamin water and spending all this money on all these bottles of vitamin water, you get there's these little powder packets called VitaPods, and it goes into the top of the thermos and it mixes into the water, and you get all the vitamins and minerals that you need. And it tastes amazing. Check this out real quick. Tell me how I did. You ready?
Yeah.
I need your coaching, your critique. That's the word I'm looking for. Easy for you to say, Philly kid. Here you go. Watch this.
You're not drinking enough water, so you're dehydrated. And you're not eating enough fruits and vegetables, so you're not as healthy as you can be. Here's the solution. VitaPod drinks are packed with vitamins, minerals, and key nutrients, giving you what you need. Fill the bottle with water, put in the pod, twist, then shake and enjoy. VitaPods taste fresh and delicious. Plus, you'll have more energy and feel better when you're hydrated and healthier. VitaPods cost a fraction of bottled drinks. You'll save hundreds this year. VitaPods are 1/16 the plastic of single-use bottles and easy to recycle. Forget sugar-packed sodas. VitaPods are sugar-free, all-natural, and low-calorie, perfect for weight loss. And they taste incredible, with flavors like blueberry pomegranate and raspberry hibiscus, with formulations for hydration, beauty, energy, sports, and more. Get 40% off with coupon code HealthX at VitapodWorld.com. That's VitapodWorld.com.
Nice.
Huh?
You did great, Scotty. You did great.
Come on. I think I knocked it out one take for those guys.
I mean, you were loud, you were clear, you enunciated very clearly.
Did I enunciate?
Yes.
So listen, it's called VitaPod, and I took home so many samples with me, and they taste really good, Philly kid.
Yeah, you don't want to fall. You don't want to fall. Like a chopped down tree into your bed like that one guy did.
Yeah.
He was completely out. He had no energy.
Yeah, I love it. Listen, man, I know you got you're a little crunched on time. You jumped in for Souk tonight. If you want to sing a song, I'd love it. But if you can't, I got a couple queued up from you. So it's totally up to you. But I know you got some folks waiting for you. Joe Morton was fantastic. Great interview with him. And from here on in, it's gravy. So whatever we do, we do. Whatever we do, we do, Philly kid. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we got Christmas coming up, so I'm gonna finish it off with a little Christmas song.
Nice, baby, nice.
And it goes a little something like this. Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine, when Christ was born. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Philly kid, sleigh bells ring. Are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. Philly kid, listen, big show coming up tomorrow, 1 o'clock. This could be the biggest guest we've ever had on the show, Philly kid. Just, I don't want to put any pressure on everybody, our audience included. Could be the most important person we've had on this program to date. He is the senior vice president of late night programming.
Whoa.
For CBS.
Nice.
He is the boss of late night programming for CBS. How I got him on the show, I don't really know. He saw our stuff. I said I'd love to have you on. So Nick Bernstein will be here. And listen, you know, we give him the old the full boat, the full wash, and when James Corden leaves next year, maybe he goes, "Hey, I was on this show. These guys need to be the new late show at 12:30."
You never know. You never know.
We need our audience out in full force tomorrow, 1 o'clock, and we'll knock them dead as usual. Anyway, Philly kid, I'll let you go. Let's give everybody a little bit more of you. Back to a little easy like Sunday morning. Bye-bye, everybody. Philly kid, awesome job.
Love you guys.
My friend. Love you, pal. See you soon.
That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Yeah. That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Well, I never been to Spain, but I kinda like the music. Say the ladies are insane there, and they sure know how to use it. They don't abuse it, never gonna lose it. I can't refuse it. Well, I never been to England, but I kinda like the Beatles. Well, I headed for Las Vegas, only made it out to Needles. Can you feel it? It must be real. It feels so good, oh, feels so good. Well, I've never been to heaven, but I've been to Oklahoma. Well, they tell me I was born there, but I really don't remember. In Oklahoma, not Arizona. What does it matter? What does it matter? Yeah. Been to Spain, but I kinda like the music. Say the ladies are insane there, and they sure know how to use it. They don't abuse it, never gonna lose it. I can't refuse it. Well, I've never been to heaven, but I've been to Oklahoma. And they tell me I was born there, but I really don't remember. Oklahoma, not Arizona. What does it matter? What does it matter? Yeah! Woo!
You're not drinking enough water, so you're dehydrated. And you're not eating enough fruits and vegetables, so you're not as healthy as you can be. Here's the solution. VitaPod drinks are packed with vitamins, minerals, and key nutrients, giving you what you need. Fill the bottle with water, put in the pod, twist, then shake and enjoy. VitaPods taste fresh and delicious. Plus, you'll have more energy and feel better when you're hydrated and healthier. VitaPods cost a fraction of bottled drinks. You'll save hundreds this year. VitaPods are 1/16 the plastic of single-use bottles and easy to recycle. Forget sugar-packed sodas. VitaPods are sugar-free, all natural and low-calorie, perfect for weight loss. And they taste incredible with flavors like blueberry pomegranate and raspberry hibiscus, with formulations for hydration, beauty, energy, sports, and more. Get 40% off with coupon code HealthX at VitapodWorld.com. That's VitapodWorld.com.
Sitting on a bar stool, acting like a darn fool, that's what I'm doing today. Sitting here drinking, trying to keep from thinking I'm boozing my trouble away. Well, I couldn't make her stay, but doggone her anyway, she can't say that I didn't try. Pour me another one, I'm finished with the other one, I'm drinking my baby goodbye. Every time we disagree, she's always asking me, are you a man or a mouse? Now that she's gone, she probably thinks I'm home just moping around the house. She probably thinks that she's the one thing I just couldn't get along without. Well, wouldn't it surprise her? I gotta sympathize her as long as these bottles hold out. Sitting on a bar stool, acting like a darn fool, that's what I'm doing today. Sitting here drinking, trying to keep from thinking I'm boozing my troubles away. Hell, I couldn't make her stay, but doggone her anyway, she can't say that I didn't try. Pour me another one, I'm finished with the other one, I'm drinking my baby goodbye. Every time I try to sit down and talk to her, it always ends up in a fuss. I try to reason with her right up to the time she got on that Greyhound bus. It'd be better if I could forget her, 'cause she sure forgot about me. And if it takes all night, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna sit here till I can't see. Sitting on a bar stool acting like a darn fool, that's what I'm doing today. Sitting here drinking, trying to keep from thinking I'm boozing my troubles away. Hell, I couldn't make her stay, but doggone her anyway, she can't say that I didn't try. Pour me another one, I'm finished with the other one, I'm drinking my baby goodbye. Well, I'm sitting on a bar stool acting like a darn fool, that's what I'm doing today. Sitting here drinking, trying to keep from thinking I'm boozing my troubles away. Hell, I couldn't make her stay, but doggone her anyway, she can't say that I didn't try. Pour me another one, I'm finished with the other one, I'm drinking my baby goodbye. I said, pour me another one, I'm finished with the other one, I'm drinking my baby goodbye. I said, pour me another one, I'm finished with the other one, I'm drinking my baby goodbye.